Good morning and welcome to Unity Spiritual Center, RGV, Sunday morning online service. Unity is a positive path for spiritual living. We are an all-inclusive, love-based spiritual community, and it is a blend. Unity is a blending of Christianity with Eastern philosophy, science, transcendentalism, and the power of the mind. The power of prayer. It was initially a prayer ministry. That's how it all began. And so I am welcoming you here today to our service. And if you'd like to learn more about Unity, then I invite you to visit our website, unityrgv.org, or the central website, which is unity.org. There you will find very many helpful tools to help you in your unfolding as you continue on your spiritual journey. But now, I just want to welcome you once again, and I hope you enjoyed today's service. The announcements for today are that the classes continue every Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. Let's Get Metaphysical. And then on Thursday evenings at 6:30, the ARE group gets together. And at 8 o'clock, the Texas Collaborative Meditation takes place. So we invite you to any one of those classes. You can find the links on our website. Also, let's see, the board had a meeting, and we are looking into the guidelines for reopening. We'd like to think that maybe by summer, depending on how things, if they continue in the right direction, maybe by early summer, maybe even Memorial Day. Who knows? We'll just wait and see. But so we can reopen, and we'll have certain guidelines for the prerequisites, I guess you want to call them, for opening in a safe manner, because it won't be completely gone, obviously, and there's still people that may be susceptible to it, but we'll see all that. But in the meantime, we have to do some serious cleaning around here because we've been closed for a while. And so as we get closer to that date, the board decided basically that next month when we meet again in April, we'll revisit that topic and we'll just see how things are going. But I mean, you can see it, as they say, the proverbial light at the end of the tunnel. So that's coming up sometime, hopefully soon. So stay tuned with that, and we'll keep you posted about the reopening date and the conditions. Thank you. Let's begin today's service in prayer. I invite you to just get comfortable wherever you are, seated or however you are, whatever position you're in. To get comfortable and take a deep, centering breath. Take another one. And let's breathe in this life, this energy that is life, that is spirit all around us, in which we live and move and have our being, as it is written. And in this ocean of love and energy, we open ourselves up. We open our hearts, we open our minds to healing energy, to loving energy, that we may continue to expand our awareness of this mysterious experience that we call life. And from this place of consciousness, we are one, and we share everything together. And in the spirit of oneness, once again, we give thanks. We are always, always grateful. And we open up today's service in that spirit of oneness. And so it is. Join me now in Unity RGV Affirmation and Vision Statements. Unity RGV is an expanding center of the Christ light, mighty to attract its good and radiate good to others. Centered in God, we express the indwelling Christ.
As we start this time of inner reflection, let's begin by getting comfortable. Remove all objects from your lap. Place your feet on the floor and sit up comfortably in your chair. Relax the muscles in your face, shoulders, arms, hands, and fingers. Feel your hips, legs, feet, and toes relax as well. Release any areas of tension you feel in your body. Take a deep, centering breath. Slowly inhale, gently hold for a few seconds, and then slowly exhale. Repeat a few times. Focus on your inhalation and exhalation as you continue to relax your body. Gently breathe in and out. Just relax and breathe naturally. You now feel the increased sense of relaxation to your body with every breath. Feel calmness and peace wash over you. Now let's center our attention for the daily word for today, which is forgive. Our Bible verse is from Luke chapter 15, verse 20, and reads, "But while he was still far off, his father saw him and was filled with compassion. He ran out and put his arms around him and kissed him." Our affirmation for today is, I extend forgiveness to myself. Let's say that together one time. I extend forgiveness to myself. Our message reads, "Throughout my life, I have forgiven those who have hurt and disappointed me. In turn, I have been grateful when others extended understanding and forgiveness to me. Even though I have learned to be forgiving with others, I may still find it difficult to forgive myself for mistakes I've made, disappointments I have caused, and commitments I've broken. Today, I open my heart, and with love and compassion, I forgive myself. I remind myself that everyone makes mistakes and deserves understanding and forgiveness, even me. I remember how the prodigal son's father received him with joy when he came home. This joy is mine when I let go of self-condemnation and finally come home to myself." Now let's close our eyes and take these words and this affirmation into the silence.
Silence down in my soul. I love the silence down in my soul. I love the silence down in my soul, and the whole wide world is my home. I've got a new day down in my soul. I've got a new day I've got a new day down in my soul, and the whole wide world is my home.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Reverend Ivery, and I'm really glad to be here. And I have some exciting adventure this past week. One thing I like to do is play in the online casinos in their tournaments. And in the tournaments, you can play for free, and it doesn't cost you anything. So I usually don't win anything, but this time I actually won the tournament, and I won $110. I'm like, yay, I finally won something, $110. But the playthrough is actually 400%, meaning I had to play $4,500 before I could get a withdrawal. Okay, so turn $110 into $4,510 because they would take back the $110 that I won. Okay, so I'm all excited, and I'm happy, and I'm excited, and I'm playing, and I'm winning, and I get to $3,200 that I've already won. I've already played through $3,200. I'm like, man, I can do this. And then I got to like $4,000, and I'm like, yes, I can do this. Another only $400, and I can do it. And a thought came to my mind. But what if you lose the 400? That's what happens to us when we're on our journey. We're excited and we're winning, and a thought comes and says, but what if you lose? What if you don't get to the $4,400? What if you lose? You play the other 400 and you lose. What if you lose it? Well, this is what happens to us between Advent and Lent. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. What happens between Advent and Lent? Traditionally, Advent is the 40 days before Christmas that we celebrate what we call hope and expectation. Okay? And we're all excited. And Advent is traditionally the 40 days before Easter, when it's really all about forgiveness and repentance. And what I like to do is to say that our lives cycle through these events. We cycle through hope, and we cycle through great expectations, and we cycle through forgiveness, and we cycle through repentance. We have these ups and downs in our lives. And each one of these ups and downs in our lives is really a transformation. And that's what we want to talk about today, is transformation. And I have a special guest today, and it's Mr. Noah of the Ark. And Noah is going to share with us his transformation that he experienced in his life. So I'm going to let Noah tell you all about that. Well, hello everybody. My name is Noah, and my family said that my dad named me that because it's the Hebrew word that sounds like comfort. And he said that I would be a comfort to the people. And so I'm going to tell you anyway what my journey was. I'm just going through my life, me and my family, just doing what we do. And suddenly I heard this voice. I heard God. And God said, Noah, I'm going to destroy the earth. And I want you and your family, your sons, to build an ark. And I'll tell you exactly what needs to be done. So I'm kind of surprised and shocked, but okay, I'll do it. And so I got my family together, and we built this ark. It took about a week. And then God said, well, and Noah, when you build the ark, I want you to find 7 pairs of every animal on the earth and put them in the ark. Okay. And I'm going to close it up, and I'm going to destroy the earth. So we did that. We took 1 week and we built the ark, and we took another week and we found all the animals, and I got my family in, and God closed the door. and it started to rain. And it rained for 40 days and for 40 nights. And what happened inside the ark during that time is another story. So I can't say that right now. But after 40 days, it stopped raining. And I opened the window and I sent out a raven. But the raven came right back. And so I thought, well, it's not time yet. So I waited another week. And after the second week, I sent out a dove. And the dove didn't come back. And I waited a week. And then the dove came back. And when she came back, she had an olive branch in her mouth. And I knew that there was firmament. I knew there were trees on the earth now. I knew that the water had receded. So I decided, I'm going to wait another week and make sure, everything's all dried up. And I waited another week. I opened the door and it was all dry and the land was all there. So I built an altar, and me and my family, we celebrated and we thanked God for sparing us. And then God made a covenant with us, that God made a covenant with us. And the covenant basically said, I'll establish my covenant with you, but never again will I destroy the earth by water. And I will set a rainbow. And I thought, wow, that is pretty cool. So thank you for allowing me to share my story. Thank you, Noah. We appreciate your story because we're going to take that and we're going to look at it metaphysically, what each one of those things are about, and in a process of transformation. That's what this whole story is. It's a process of transformation. And I want to thank Reverend Karen Tudor and Reverend Jim Gaither for their program, Biblical Power for Your Life. Biblical Power for Your Life. And it's a Unity Radio program. And this program, they ran Noah and the Ark on September the 25th, 2008. So it was archived, but I found it. I love it. So before we get started with the metaphysical story, I need to give you a couple of definitions. And one of them is about the 7 days. We always think of 7 days as a week, but in metaphysics, 7 days is really the time it takes to complete a task. Whatever it is that we're doing, it's the time it takes from beginning to end to complete that task. So Noah and his son were building an ark. That was a task. And so whatever time it was, but it was 7 days between the time they began and the time they ended, metaphysically. Then 40 days, metaphysically, is the time it takes for a transformation to occur. And that's what we want to look at, is the time it takes for a transformation, not just 40 days, but from beginning to end. How long does it take us to grow and change from one condition to another? So that's what we're going to look at. All right. So, and another definition is people and animals. And people and animals are types of thoughts, metaphysically. Okay, so the first week, the first 7 days, is building the ark. And the ark is the positive state of consciousness that we need to be in when we go through a transformation. There's a positive state of consciousness that we have to be in. And it's a safe place for us to go to work on our transformation. The second week of gathering the family, the people, and the animals is a time that God shut the door. And the important thing about God shutting the door is what was not so much what was inside the ark, but what was outside of the ark. And we want to look at those metaphysically as our paradigms or our stories that tell us we can't do it. Our stories that tell us why we can't do what it is that we want to do. There's always a reason why we can't do it. Like playing the rest of the money, I might lose it. There's a story behind that. And they tell us why we can't complete this task. That's the paradigm. That's what was outside of the ark. And then in the third week, it rained for 40 days. And that rain was a time of transformation. And it's a process that takes as long as it does. And the water in the rain is the spiritual cleansing that we go through during this transformative process. And Charles Fillmore, the co-founder of Unity, calls that water as potentiality of all possible ideas, that we have a potential for all of our ideas to come. And okay, and the process of change need water to clean out old beliefs and a system of thoughts. Okay, let me start over on that. The process of change needs water to clean out the old beliefs and systems and thoughts. So we need the water to cleanse us. Okay. After 40 days, the rain stopped. And that's the time we began feeling at peace with this new decision that we've made. We're like, I'm ready, I can do this. Okay. Then now we start the transition. So there's a first week of the transition process. Okay. So the first week when Noah sends out the raven and to looking for signs of acceptance. So the first week, Noah sends out the raven and all is well. Okay, wait a minute. Looking for signs of acceptance that all is well, that there's a place to land. This is when the first time we venture out in our new understanding or our new transformation. And it's not quite, wait a minute, it doesn't work. And it's not what you expected. That the raven is typically dusty or dark thoughts of life's what ifs. Dusty and dark thoughts of life's what ifs. Okay. The second week, Noah sends out the dove, and the dove brings back the olive branch. Wait a minute. There's a week in between there. All right. Okay. The second week, Noah sends out the dove. And he waits for a week. And the dove brings back the olive branch. And during this time, things are at peace with us. That it's a good sign to reintegrate and reemerge. But we're not quite ready to step out. It's like in my playing, I hadn't made the $4,400. I was all the way up to $3,200. So I still had some work to do. And the dove represents that warm and loving thoughts that say, you can do it, you can do it, you can do this. And the olive branch is the shining or illumination that we need, to direct our path. And so Noah didn't go out yet. He waited because there was more work to do. In week 3 of the transformative part of the process, the land dries. And this is a time of the dramatic insight where we make the changes, but we can get discouraged in those changes. And we're looking for guidance. And sometimes it feels like that guidance doesn't come. And we feel like, well, God, where are you? I need you to guide me. What do I do now? And God said, you know what? You can figure this out. And that's what Noah did when he was sending the doves out. When he sent the raven out, he was using his intelligence to take steps, small steps, to find out where he needed to go next. And when the dove didn't come back, Noah opened, And when the dove didn't come back, Noah came out with gratitude and received the covenant. And the key here is patience. That is a turning point. Okay. The worst is over. And it's like, I knew I could win when all I needed was $200 and I had $500. So I knew I could win. Okay. But Noah opens the door that previously God had shut. And Noah gives an offering to God to say thank you. That's one thing we always do when we come out of our transformation, is that we want to say thank you, that we want to be grateful that something larger than us has helped us to get through this. And then God made a covenant promise to Noah that things were never going to be that heart again. And here's the part. After the transformative event, we can never unknow what we know. We can never unknow what we've been through. When we go through the next experience, we know that it's going to be okay because I had this last experience to build on, and I'm using those experiences. And each of those experiences become unconscious and they become automatic. And sometimes it's scary, but we know we have walked this path once before, and we know there's a light on the other side. And this is what happens between Advent and Lent. Life's ups and downs, where when we are aware that these ups and downs are really transformations in our lives, that these are experiences for our growth and our transformation. Thank you. And so it is. God bless. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Ivery, for that wonderful message that you shared with us today. Now comes a time in the service where we offer our tithes and our gifts to our spiritual community. And I remind you that giving and receiving is a natural flow, ebb and flow of the universe. And the way it works is that the more you give, the more you receive. You've heard this said before. Now, why is that so? It is because it is a give and take. It is a carving out and filling in, so that the more you give, then you open up your circle to a greater reception, because it's like a balloon. The more air it gets in it, then the more it can hold, and it keeps expanding. So it kind of works that way. So we want to say thank you very much for your continued donations and your continued support of this spiritual community that has been here for 40 years and hopefully will be here for another 40 years or more. In the meantime, we take our tithes in our hands or mentally. Together we say, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. Everything I see, everything I do is blessed by your hand, God. I'll give it back to you. Everything I give, every thought that's true is magnified in kind, God. I'll give it back to you. Thank you once again for joining us this Sunday morning. It was our pleasure having you here, and we welcome you here once we open up again. We welcome you to come visit us. In the meantime, I will leave you with a prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Have a blessed week, and get yourself vaccinated first chance you get. Take care.